Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Hey Techie once again. My name is Steven, and if you're new here, Hey Techie is all about building a smart home around the Apple HomeKit ecosystem. So, if that sounds like the kind of thing that you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the bell icon too to make sure you never miss a video. Back when Hey Techie started up just a few months ago, I did a couple of videos on the IKEA Home Smart products, and they generated a lot of attention, and rightly so. In my opinion, there are a few better budget smart home options for consumers in the market in 2021, and the range and the quality of the devices that you get from IKEA really mean that any smart home enthusiast should be considering having these products in their home. For beginners, the IKEA setup is also extremely cheap, which is always a bonus, and so you have the recipe for what I think is the best budget smart home, especially if you're a HomeKit user. In December 2020, we finally got some kind of indication that the long-awaited shortcut button would be released in 2021. It's now February, and IKEA has finally released the shortcut button in Britain. Now, as soon as I found out they'd been released, I got my order in right away, and they've just arrived, so here's my initial thoughts on these rather nifty £6 devices. As the name suggests, the IKEA shortcut button requires you to already have the basis of the IKEA Home Smart range pre-established in your home. Now, for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to go back over this again in detail, but if you're interested in finding more about that setup, click the link up above to check out my previous video here. Now, assuming that you already have a TradFi gateway and at least one IKEA smart device like a light bulb or a speaker, you already have everything you need to take advantage of one of these little shortcut buttons. In essence, they function as little remotes, which allow you to set up a customized scene in the IKEA app. Now, if you set them up in a certain way, it's also tantamount to you having a remote control over certain IKEA devices in your smart home. Inside the box, you'll find the minimalist packaging we all know and love from IKEA. Within the small blister pack, you'll find the shortcut button itself, which feels like of a good construction, a mounting plate for it, which you may like to use depending on where you're going to use the button. There's a command strip sticky pad for an alternative mounting solution, and the button itself also has a magnetic back, just like the basic steering device remote, so you can easily attach it to a fridge, or a lamp perhaps. IKEA also provides you with a battery as well, so you've got almost everything you need right out of the box. Unusually, and I'm not sure why, IKEA opted to hide the button behind a screw plate, which means you'll also need a little screwdriver to install the battery. Now, whilst the IKEA motion sensor also has this, I don't know why they've opted for this choice with a shortcut button. It seems a little unusual to me. The device itself is a little bit bigger than an Apple Watch, so it's a decent size for a button remote control, and once it's mounted someplace, you'll not lose it easily should you take it down again. You'll also find inside the box the paperwork, but to be honest, you'll be setting this product up using the IKEA Home Smart app, so the paperwork here really isn't needed. There's also a set of stickers inside the pack, so you can customize the look of your button depending on what purpose you decide to assign it. Like other IKEA devices of its type, the setup can be a little bit problematic. Within the shortcut button itself, there is a sync button beside the battery, which you use to connect it to the IKEA gateway. Press this button 4 times and a little red light shines within the case of the button, letting you know it's ready to sync. Simply then press down and hold the button for 10 seconds whilst holding it next to your IKEA gateway, and it should then simply connect. Now, 2 things to note with this process. Firstly, you have to be extremely close to the gateway itself for this to work. When testing it out, I was inadvertently too close to my IKEA desk lamp, and it actually knocked the smart bulb out of connectivity with my entire setup. As a result, I had to remove the bulb from both IKEA and Apple Home apps, and then essentially set it up as a brand new bulb. Even when I was within 2 centimeters of the gateway, as the diagram explained, even then I still had a little bit of trouble connecting. In the end, I had to physically touch the button and the gateway together whilst trying to sync it. Now yes, it's not the most convenient thing to have to do, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. Secondly, you'll need to ensure that you don't inadvertently press the actual shortcut button at the same time as the sync button. Now this is easier said than done, so you'll need to have the device held in your hand and not like it's shown here on my desk. Once it's set up and connected though, that's where the fun really begins. You'll first set up the shortcut button with the IKEA app, but once you've done so, HomeKit users can head right on over to Apple Home and be able to see their new device waiting for them in the app. You can of course integrate these buttons in with your IKEA app itself, but HomeKit users who have devices from different brands of manufacturer will get a lot more benefit by using the Apple Home app instead. Upon selecting the shortcut button, you'll be able to assign two different controls to the device. One for a single short press, and a different one for a long press. As you can see, this is pretty easy to set up, and it works with any scene which you have established already in Apple Home App. It also means that these buttons can control my Moros LED light strip, which has no connection to any IKEA device in my setup. Now this is very welcome because it really underscores just how versatile these devices can be, and they're not restrained within just an IKEA system when you use it with HomeKit. There's not much latency either, with the button being quite responsive, so again I was quite impressed with the performance of this, at least with the few tests that I've done so far. So that's the IKEA Home Smart shortcut button all set up. But what exactly can you use this for? Now, like many kinds of remotes, essentially what a shortcut button is a remote, and you can set it to turn devices on or off or set scenes at the press of a button. I've mentioned previously that there are circumstances where silently being able to control your smart home is very advantageous. If your partner's asleep in bed and you don't want to use your voice to control Siri, a button is a great alternative. Or, if you don't happen to have several HomePod mini scattered throughout your home, a £6 button is a very affordable solution rather than having to invest in a whole load more HomePods to make your smart home work. Of course, it's also a great way to make your guests feel more at home by retaining the physical light switch. Visitors to your home might not be used to smart home controls, or in busy environments like at a dinner party, Siri might not understand the command that you've asked it to perform. A button simplifies this process to the universal standard, which we already all understand. There's also potential for these devices in future. With a little bit of tweaking from IKEA, you may well be able to use one of these buttons as an extremely cheap smart doorbell, which sends a notification directly to your phone or watch every time someone rings the door. IKEA do update their software reasonably often, so there's a lot of future potential here. Not bad for £6. So there you have it folks, that's the IKEA shortcut button. What do you make of it? Do you think they're a worthwhile addition to your smart home? Or are you questioning what's the point in a remote for your smart home anyway? Isn't the whole point to use voice assistants? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. We've got a really exciting lineup of product reviews and new content coming up for you over the next few months here at Hey Techie. That also includes the IKEA motion sensor, which in the most recent update to the IKEA Home Smart app now supports Apple HomeKit. If that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, make sure that you never miss a video by subscribing to our channel and hit that bell icon to make sure you get notified when our videos go live. Also, leave a comment down below to let us know if you've enjoyed this video, and please consider giving it a thumbs up as well. All of these engagements really help Hey Techie continue to grow at the astronomical pace that it has been over the last few months. Remember as well, if you want to get a bit more involved, head on over to my Instagram at Hey Techie. There's a poll there every single Friday, which you, my viewers, get to vote on my next video. Until next time though, I've been Stephen, for Hey Techie.